Russia warns of proportionate response if U.S. resumes nuclear testing. General Secretary to Lam attends Vietnam-UK Business Forum in London. Regarding the proposal to tax gold transactions.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news by Nghệ An Press and Broadcasting Agency. I'm Hoàng Yên, and let's get started. U.S. President Donald Trump just announced the resumption of nuclear weapons testing for the first time in over 30 years. Russia then immediately warned it would take an appropriate response, raising concerns about new nuclear arms race between the major powers.
If we speak about ceasefire,
the remarks by a Kremlin spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, came after Donald Trump said he had ordered the U.S. military to resume testing immediately, citing strategic competition with Russia and China. Responding to a reporter's question about the statement, Mr. Peskov reiterated Russian President Vladimir Putin's remark that if one party abandons the nuclear test ban, Russia will act accordingly. Meanwhile, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance stated that the resumption of nuclear weapons testing by the U.S., as ordered by President Donald Trump, is solely for the purpose of ensuring the weapons operate effectively, and that U.S. officials will continue to monitor this closely.
G7 energy ministers meeting in Canada on Thursday planned to launch a new critical minerals production alliance to counter China's critical mineral dominance.
The two-day Group of Seven meeting in Toronto opened hours after U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping signed an extendable one-year deal on China's supply of rare earths. Under the alliance, the governments of Britain, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the United States would mobilize private investment to expand critical mineral production that bypasses China, as well as to ensure a more stable supply of resources for advanced technology. For its part, Beijing has called on G7 countries to adhere to the principles of the market economy and stop undermining the international trade order.
Within the framework of the official visit to the United Kingdom of the Great Britain and Northern Ireland, General Secretary To Lam and the high-ranking Vietnamese delegation just attended the Vietnam-UK Business Forum in London.
At the forum, leaders of British businesses presented many enthusiastic opinions on effective Vietnam-UK investment cooperation in the future. Speaking at the event, General Secretary To Lam highly appreciated and basically agreed with the opinions of the delegates. The General Secretary said that Vietnam is continuing to perfect its institutions, improve the investment and business environment, especially shifting from attracting investment in breadth to attracting in depth and selectively. Vietnam prioritizes projects using advanced technology, high technology, clean technology, high added value, and connecting to the global supply chain. To maximize the potential of the two countries in the coming period, General Secretary To Lam suggested that British businesses continue to expand investment and business activities in areas such as green economy, digital economy, knowledge economy, circular economy, high technology, AI, energy, finance and banking, etc.
Upcoming are some updated news.
On October 31st in Hanoi, the Ministry of Home Affairs organized a conference on propaganda and awareness about the ASEAN socio-cultural community. The year 2025 marks 30 years since Vietnam joined ASEAN. This year, Vietnam is in the initial phase of its reform revolution, streamlining the political apparatus to operate more efficiently and effectively to better serve the people. Notably, the two-tier local government model has officially been in operation since July 1st, 2025. These innovations create favorable conditions for Vietnam to participate more proactively and actively in ASEAN. Vietnam is focusing on implementing the ASEAN Vision 2045 and the strategic plan for the ASEAN socio-cultural community. At the conference, delegates were updated on the situation of ASEAN cooperation and Vietnam's participation in all three pillars in 2025.
Nghệ An Provincial People's Committee recently held a meeting to discuss and give opinions on the proposal to approve the investment policy for Quinh Lap LNG thermal power plant project. The project has a capacity of $500 million with a total estimated investment of about $2.11 billion USD, deployed in Tan Mai Ward, in Nghệ An Province. After listening to a detailed report on the scale, location, technology, and total investment of the project, the Provincial People's Committee unanimously approved the project investment policy, agreed to convert the purpose of using forest land for implementation, and apply the form of open bidding to select investors. The public and transparent selection not only demonstrates the spirit of openness and compliance with the law, but also expands opportunities for domestic and foreign investors to access this strategic project.
Vietjet and Airbus have officially signed a contract to purchase 100 A320neo aircraft, witnessed by General Secretary Tu Lam at the Vietnam-UK Economic Summit. According to Airbus, the order is expected to create hundreds of thousands of jobs in the UK and across Europe, while enabling Vietjet to modernize its fleet, reduce emissions, and expand its international network towards the global net zero goal. Previously, in September, Vietjet also received the first Boeing 737-8 in an order of 200 aircraft worth $32 billion USD, serving the airline's international flight expansion strategy.
In the draft law on personal income tax, the Ministry of Finance just proposed a tax rate of 0.1% on the total value of the gold bullion transfers. This proposal immediately attracted great attention from public attention, as gold has long been not only a store of value but also a familiar investment channel for many Vietnamese people. More in the story today.
Gold is traditionally a means of accumulation, tied to the mentality of a store of wealth. But when prices fluctuate, it also becomes a profitable investment channel. Recently, the sharp increase in gold prices has led to a surge in speculation. According to Dr. Phan Văn Chung from Nghệ An University, researching the application of personal income tax on gold transactions is necessary to increase transparency and guide the market towards more stable operation.
I support this policy. In order to make gold transactions transparent, gold bar transactions must be declared for tax, otherwise it will be illegal. Without this regulation, transactions are rampant, distorting the gold market.
Taxing gold not only increases revenue, bringing gold transactions back to the true meaning of a transparent financial investment activity, but also helps limit underground transactions, foreign currency loss, and tax loss. However, according to lawyer Nguyen Trung Hai, it is also necessary to design a suitable value threshold and holding period to avoid equating speculation with accumulation.
It is necessary to avoid speculating on gold bars, set up a gold trading floor, and apply appropriate taxes to each transaction. It is necessary to perfect specific legal documents on taxation for buyers, sellers, investors, and distinguish between profiteering investments.
Also, according to Dr. Phan Văn Chung, the long-term goal of taxing gold transactions is to bring gold trading activities into a transparent framework, thereby contributing to stabilizing the exchange rate, controlling inflation, and supporting monetary policy. However, to achieve public consensus, the state must narrow the gap between domestic and international gold prices.
Applying a low tax rate of 0.1% on the transaction value is also a measure to bring underground transactions into greater transparency. Accompanying policies are needed, along with regulations on the acceptable margin of difference, to control the situation right from the supply source.
In the context of the gold market still having many potential risks, imposing taxes at a reasonable level not only helps increase budget revenue, but is also a necessary step towards a more transparent and healthy market. However, for the policy to be truly effective, it needs to be accompanied by a synchronous management solution, especially in monitoring, declaring, and preventing transaction fraud, to ensure the goal of stabilizing the market and protecting people's rights.
The last story to send it our news today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye for now.